Thank you all for convening today here at this location. Historically, at least my recollection is, we've gathered over in the cemetery for this occasion, but it's especially appropriate today given the Gold Star memorial dedication and all of the love and the sweat and the tears that went into this memorial overall, that we're gathered over on this side of the road. I will say, just on a point of personal privilege, it's very special to me to be in this location. Like so many families here in town, we have loved ones whose names are on the pavers. Here, my dad and uncle. And Ryan and Caitlin, well done. But for you, Ryan, in particular, unless my memory is wrong, I think I read that at one of these occasions a year or two ago. So you may be stuck with something in the future. You never know. So in about 6 weeks, we're going to celebrate the 250th anniversary of our great country, and we are going to celebrate it loudly and proudly and all over this land. That is not why we're gathered here today, because today, rather than celebrating, we are engaged in a somber reminder of what it has taken to last for 250 years and to have that celebration lying before us in just over a month. In the course of our history, something like 1.3 million of our service personnel have been killed in the line of duty. That's stretching back as far as the Revolution and to as recent as the 14 killed, 13 of those in combat operations in Iran during Operation Epic Fury. So this is a long and unbroken piece of sacrifice for this country that continues to this day and is appropriately recognized each year by all of us who gather at places all over our great state. In addition to those who have fallen and who we remember, there are those who they leave behind. And I think it is so special that this community came together and did what is necessary to add the Gold Star Memorial to this broader Veterans Freedom Square. At the end of the day, it's not only those who are fallen, but it is their families, their spouses, their parents, their children who live with that sacrifice each and every day for the rest of their lives. Today there are something like 500,000 Gold Star family members all over our country, and we're here today to honor not just those who were able to join us, and thank you, but each and every one, wherever he or she may be on this Memorial Day. You heard and know the history of the Gold Star. The blue turned to gold to signify those whose loved ones never came home in the First World War. There's a phrase that came to mind as I was thinking about today. It's a phrase I know you all have heard. You may or may not know the origins. They also serve those who stand and wait. Now, I know it, like perhaps many of you, from a country song in the early 2000s. But its roots stretch back at least 4 centuries to the English poet John Milton, who, as far as I can tell, is the first to have penned those in a poem that was dedicated to those Brits, who served in the empire in lands far away. Perhaps more timely for us is its modern use. John Conley was the artist. You've heard it. It was in 2005 he wrote his hit song with that phrase. At the height of our military operations in Iran, in Iraq, and in Afghanistan, and he wrote these words: "They also serve those who stand and wait, praying by the phone to learn their loved one's fate. But still, they're still in the war, let there be no mistake. They also serve those who stand and wait. Mothers and fathers, daughters and sons, they don't wear a uniform or carry a gun, but they're still in the war." To every one of you who has supported a serviceman or woman as they served, who got to embrace them when they came home, who didn't get to embrace them when they came home, thank you for your service. That is what the Gold Star Memorial is all about. And let me just conclude by saying this: Today reflects the dedication and the importance of remembering here in Independence, Montgomery County, Kansas, our great country, and the work that led to this monument. But it requires more than monuments to make sure that we are doing what must be done to serve those who still live after their loved one didn't come home. Too often that's not been the case. I think there is progress. I want to thank Senator Moran for his leadership as chairman of the Veterans Committee in the United States Senate. He's made sure, as there have been changes and rearrangements and new structures and priorities, that the needs of veterans and of Gold Star families have stayed front and center. I believe it's the case that the Senate has already passed, and we're going to get it done in the House, the Love Lives On Act, to make sure that the outdated provision that provides that a Gold Star spouse who remarries before the age of 55 under current law loses or diminishes her benefits. There's no logic in that. We want to get it fixed. I'm hopeful this is the year. And we just sent to the Senate, and I know that they will take it up, I believe they will pass it, a measure that for the first time since the early 1990s will actually increase survivor compensation above the rate of inflation. It may not set the world on fire, but it's the right move in the right direction for those 500,000 Gold Star family members. Thank you all for being here today. God bless you. And let me just say in final conclusion, our mission every day, not just today, is to make sure that we live a life that is worthy of their sacrifice. Try to remember that each and every day.